Hey everyone, this is Fausto here with the Cinema Cell, and it's very late right now. I just finished watching a Serbian film, so instead of doing the usual written vlog review, I do a video review. Okay, so I've been waiting to see this one for a while. If you've been reading the site, a while back I wrote a review called The Fin Absolute du Monde, which was basically about hard to find and really extreme films. And one of them that I put on there was a Serbian film, a 2010 film that is either banned or heavily edited pretty much everywhere. Until just recently, in 2012, May of 2012, I believe, an official uncut edition was finally released. And I finally got my hands on it. There was some debate on Amazon as to whether this was really the uncut version, or at least I thought so, but when I actually went and checked out a few of the comments that were being made, turns out most of them were for the unrated NC-17 edition. This is not that. I haven't had anything else to really compare it to, but I'm fairly confident that this is, in fact, the official uncut version. So, alright. Well, having said that, I finished watching the film. It's pretty fucked up stuff. So, I think the main questions people have are, first of all, is it the full one? Like I said, I'm pretty sure it is. I'm gonna lend it to a friend, hopefully, who will confirm it for me, but I'm fairly certain that this is the real deal. Second thing is, does it qualify as art? Well, I've seen a lot of comments basically saying that it's like a lot of, extremely graphic and intense films. It's just violence without, it doesn't really say anything. First of all, let me get right off the bat. For me personally, I tend to be a person who is very hard to offend. In fact, that's one of my major turnoffs, are people who get very offended or morally self-righteous about pretty much anything. So I'm extremely hard to offend in that way. I've seen some I'm pretty hard to shock too. I mean, I'm not saying that to sound like a badass, but I've seen some pretty fucked up things in my time as a film aficionado. So, and there's some pretty. I can say a lot of what I've seen with this film is pretty fucked up. I'm not really going into too much of what you see, except, rape, murder, beheadings, things of that nature. And it gets pretty intense. So once again, it goes back to, does it qualify as art? Well, I think a lot of people who make the claim that it's not really saying anything, it's just using shock for, shock value, I think they're missing the point. The thing about art is that it doesn't really matter what the artist or whatever is trying to say. So I believe very much in the idea of the death of the artist. That is, it doesn't matter, what the director or the screenwriter originally intended with this film. All that really matters is what the audience sees, what it makes them feel, and how they react to it. So, trying to dismiss this film as having anything valid to say is pointless, because the only real validity in any kind of art is how the audience reacts to it. And this has gotten some really extreme reactions, and I said it's not the artist that determines what art means or what it says, it's how it affects the viewer. So yeah, so what did this say to me personally? I don't know. I said a lot of fucked up stuff, first of all, but overall, and this is gonna make me sound like a really horrible, screwed up person, which I am, but I actually really enjoyed this film. I mean, it's really creepy, but at the same time, it got me thinking about a lot of stuff. Just, how we think of violence. So I'm still kind of processing it. So I just finished watching it, so there's a lot going on. But yeah, now would I recommend this for anybody else? Let's start with that. I would say about 90% of the people that I know personally on Facebook or just socially in general, I would say pass. You don't want to see it. And I'm not trying to morally censor or anything. I'm just saying that a lot of the people that I know probably would be offended by it and probably would hate it. So I'm just, just giving you a heads up. It's, let me just put it this way: 2 words, newborn porn. That's what I have to say about that. Yeah, it's just, if you have any interest or whatever in seeing this movie, just, decide how you feel about the words newborn porn, and that'll pretty much tell you right there. But yeah, well, so in my personal opinion, I enjoyed it. I'm not a sadist. I just felt it had some very interesting imagery, and it really got me thinking about just not just violence, but sexual violence, and how we, how do I put this? I said I'm still processing it, all of it, but overall, said if you're the kind of person who can't sit through something like Antichrist or Pink Flamingos or something like that, or a trauma film, then don't even bother to touch this. I said it's a limited edition. It's still pretty hard to find, but one thing I am fairly certain that this is an uncut film. So if you have this, I'm pretty sure this is the real deal. So I said I checked on Amazon. I'm pretty sure a lot of those comments were referring to the unrated NC-17 edition. This is not that. I'm pretty sure this is the full deal. So Um, Overall, I say, if you're really hard to offend and if you don't mind extreme gore, then check it out. I mean, there were actually a few parts in there that were really, I don't want to say moving, but very very intriguing, let's say. But overall, um, I enjoyed it. But once again, as I always warn people who read my reviews on the CinemaCell, I'm a very fucked up person, and I have a high tolerance for fucked up shit. So, until next time,